My name is Chase Eagleson. I am born and raised in Hampton, New Hampshire. I studied environmental and resource economics at UNH, but I transferred from Hartwick College down in Oneonta, New York to UNH my sophomore year. Before it was just, I love to learn. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world, is to learn new things and to understand more. And I really felt that the master community development policy and practice at UNH was there, and it was something I could do and something that I felt like really made me feel like I was doing something. I've always loved the outdoors. It's one of my favorite things is hiking. Actually, I went on a summer trip right after my bachelor's for 45 days on the road, just in my car with my girlfriend. And it was one of the best times of my life. Being out in Hartwick, it's really out in the boondocks out there, out in southern New York. It's, there is nothing out there. And it really makes you kind of just like feel like you're part of all of it. And it's really nice. And knowing, growing up here with the coast, with all the woods and everything, I felt like with everything going on that it needed to be done, and saying it needed to be done wasn't doing anything. Without actually doing it, it's just kind of another thing that eventually would go away. It was really nice. I did some work with the town of Derry. They were trying to build a new community center because theirs is a bit old and dilapidated, unfortunately. But it's a very historic building. It's been there for a very long time. And they still run a low-priced thrift shop out of it for people in need, which is very nice of them, but it just doesn't have enough space for any of the activities they want to offer, especially since they're trying to, like the rest of New Hampshire, bring youth in, which is very difficult. So what I did was I helped facilitate their feasibility group. So it was the town, the economic development director, and a bunch of representatives from the schools, the YMCA, and some other nonprofit organizations. And over the months that it took time to create surveys and studies to have a better understanding of the wants and needs of residents of Derry. So we're just kind of building and offering things that they didn't actually want. And it really created the ability for these organizations to also communicate a little bit better, because that's always been a problem with nonprofits, for-profits, all that stuff in towns, is making sure that all these different types of services communicate. Because there really haven't been, they never are. But it made a lot of projects possible outside of the community center. It's just, it was nice to see these people actually working together more often. I really like that they've had a huge focus on practice, because there's definitely that balance you have to have of experience and knowledge, and they're really trying to make that balance known. Whereas a lot of programs seem to just be about the theory or just be about the practice, they mix it in really nicely. It's given me the confidence to say that I know what I'm talking about, even though I am relatively experienced. I'm still only 23 years old as well. This is my second job in policy. But it's also given me a lot of connections, which has been really nice, especially with the professors, because they know a lot of people, to say the least. I'm actually working on a joint project with Michael Thwack, who's running the Community Development Policy and Practice program here, and the council. So that's been a huge plus, having his knowledge and his experience. I mean, he's on Biden's Community Development board, networking and knowing all these people and knowing what they know. That's really helped me. I am currently the policy assistant at the New Hampshire Council on Developmental Disabilities. I'm part of the American Chestnut Foundation, trying to save the chestnut trees. Graduate Student Senate as well. I forgot about that. I'm the graduate and student representative for the Student Senate for UNH. The Graduate Student Senate was something that people they had sent out a message saying they kind of needed senators, and I thought, I work in policy. I'm a graduate student. Felt like it made sense to me. The Chestnut Foundation was something. Actually, UNH sent me an offer for that one because it was an environmental student, so they assumed made the most sense, and it does. And then working for the council, it was something that I applied for coming out of my bachelor degree, because it's in Concord. I had just been working with, at the time, Senator Hassen, and she has a son with developmental disabilities, and it kind of gave me the passion to do it. And they had a job opening, and it felt like it made sense. We helped to inform policymakers, so state legislators, reps and senators, on developmental disability issues, things like education freedom accounts, voting accessibility, which is the project I'm working on right now, and things of that sort that try to make the lives of those with developmental disabilities easier, more equitable, so that they have all the rights and responsibilities of citizenship that everyone else does. We recently helped get a bill that would allow for all new public playgrounds to have accessible flooring, so children with mobility issues can play, which is kind of exciting. All the work that we've seen get done this year and all the stuff that we have planned, it's too exciting to let go at this point. Having a full-time role will be nice. It'll allow me to do my work more, because there are a lot of projects that I'd like to get done that I just don't have the time for right now. It's hard to say challenges, because I've been lucky to be able to work part-time and get my master's part-time, which has been great. And the profession has been more than helpful with making sure to balance it. But I guess the biggest challenge is making sure I have all those things on my table and on my plate, and not throwing something to the side to get something else done. But I've felt that both the council and this UNH has been very fair with me with making sure I can balance it and not at a tipping point or anything. Anyone that really wants to better understand what's going on, Jolan and Sanjeev do a really good job with bringing in both the past of what has happened and the present and future of what's going to happen when it comes to community development. They've done a huge focus on sustainability and things like that. So if you really want to know how community development is going to change and how you can help communities change with that, then this is the kind of program that you need.